Many years ago, when I was starting my college career, I took a sociology class where my professor said something that's always stuck with me. He said that in a relationship, the person who cares the least has the most power. In sociology, this is known as the principle of least interest. And it states that the person who's perceived to be the least interested in maintaining the relationship holds the most power and control over it. In simplest terms, the person who is least vested can most easily walk away. This is also, by the way, why the walkout clause is so effective in sales and negotiations. The ability to walk away is a powerful tool when dealing with others. Now, this principle of least interest can be seen in all aspects of human interaction, but it's in our intimate relationships where we recognize and feel this principle the most. You can probably already tell where I'm going to go with this. When a man meets a woman that he's interested in, he often and unwittingly puts himself in a position of lower power. How does he do this? Well, very simply, by doing what a traditional man was taught to do. It's his job to approach the woman, express interest, try to get her number by chatting her up or making her laugh. He might even take her out on the dance floor and show her some moves, or sing karaoke to a woman he's never met. I've seen all sorts of performances put on by men trying to get noticed by a woman. So, okay, let's assume that he gets her number. Now he has to plan a fun and memorable date. He's often expected to pay for the date, all in hopes of making a positive impression and securing a second date in order to blaze a path towards the bedroom or a relationship. Now, in this equation, the woman isn't anywhere close to as invested as the man. In fact, in this example, all she has to do is show up. Historically, we men have shouldered the burden to pursue and try to win the affection of women. It's no different in nature, whether we're talking about the male peacock displaying his ornate feathers, or the bullfrog singing in the night hoping to attract a female. Which, by the way, if you think about it, the frog is actually risking his life singing out into the night because he is also compromising his location to predators. Just as we modern men are going out into the night hoping to find a mate, while risking our very well-being in the form of possibly being #MeToo'd or on a TikTok video titled Creepy Dude. Anyway, pretty much across the board, it's the males of the species that have to pursue the female. Okay, so given this reality, how do we do our job as a man without coming off as trying too hard or being a desperate loser? We all know that coming off as needy or desperate is the quickest way to turn off a woman. And we've also just learned that without investment, people can easily walk away. So how do we find this proper balance between being a confident and traditional pursuer, while at the same time making sure that the other person is also investing, at least to some degree, along with us? Number one, know your value and expect some sort of gratitude or reciprocation for your efforts. And no, I'm not talking about sex, but if you've just paid for a nice meal, at least expect that this person is going to express some gratitude, a sincere thank you, maybe buy you an after-dinner drink, offer to leave the tip, pay for parking, heck, buy you an ice cream cone or pay for a movie. Just do something. Number two, don't overdo it. Keep your dates casual and inexpensive. Ideally, make them fun and free, or close to free. Why are you spending a bunch of money on somebody that you barely know in hopes of winning their affections? If you're trying to buy someone's affections, there are services and arrangements for that. And trust me, the more a woman likes you, the less money you're going to need to spend. Number three, if you are expected to pay, then you should be choosing the venue. And if they'd like to go somewhere else, then they can crack open their pocketbook. Nobody's stopping them from doing that. Number four, don't be too available. Interesting people who do interesting things are attractive to others. Have a life. Have friends, job, hobbies. And if you don't, you need to put some effort into getting a life of your own. In the meantime, pretend that you do, because people don't respect people who don't seem to be doing much and seem to be too available. Number 5, never drop what you're doing for somebody that you just met. Yes, we get excited to meet people that we're attracted to, but we need to be careful to not give this person unearned priority status or the impression that we're just sitting around waiting for their call. Number 6, be able to meet your own needs. People don't like to enter into relationships with others who need or want something from them. Dating is the one place where two halves don't make a whole. In this case, I found that two halves make a quarter, much like in multiplication. Number 7, leave something to be desired. Don't shoot the wad and have nothing left to build off of. It's like a fireworks show. You start off with a few fireworks, the small ones, pop, pop, pop. You get the audience warmed up, you get them in the mood, and then slowly you build up the tempo until you move towards the grand finale. It's the same thing with dating. People who come out of the gates too strong tend to not have very much to offer down the road. So in sum, have friends, hobbies, and other pursuits. That's going to make you more attractive, not less. People will view your time as more valuable and be willing to fit into your schedule. This is a balancing act. Too much effort and you come off as needy and you scare people away. Too little effort and it suggests that you lack interest. And people will get frustrated and walk away. I see people get this balance wrong all the time. They just can't seem to find that middle ground between pursuing too hard and pursuing too little. So how do we find this delicate balance? My best advice, continue your course. Don't drop everything and chase around a new love interest. Don't put your friends or family or your life on the back burner just because you're excited about a new person. And don't allow yourself to feel pressured or have demands placed on your time and your resources. Allow things to organically develop at a pace that you feel comfortable with. This will best ensure that you won't come off as trying too hard, and you won't be investing more into someone than they deserve or they've earned. People value things that are earned rather than handed to them or given away. Expect people to pursue you as well. Expect them to reciprocate. Expect them to put in some work, because that is their investment. And the more they invest, the more likely they are to not walk away, and the more valuable you become in their eyes. It's the old story of wanting someone to like us. We think the best way of doing this is to do nice, considerate things for them, go out of our way for them, show us how important they are to us. But psychologists have actually found quite the opposite to be true. They found that if we want someone to feel positively towards us, the best and fastest way to do that is to ask a favor of them, a small imposition. Why? Because this way they need to justify the imposition to themselves. They have to sit there and think, well, this person seems cool and I really like them, so yeah, sure, I'll swing by the store and get them a pint of ice cream or load their dishwasher or take their dog out, whatever. In fact, a lot of dating gurus actually use this principle as a dating compliance test. Ask someone to do something nice for you and see how they respond. Their response will tell you a lot, both about them as well as how they feel about you. And now I've given you this pearl of wisdom free of charge, unlike these dating gurus. So how about taking a second and hitting the like button? In conclusion, when we are too eager or give too much of ourselves too quickly, it isn't a signal that we value somebody as much as it's a signal that we don't value ourselves. Now, just keep in mind, new content drops every Wednesday at 3 p.m. And until next time, thank you for joining me and have a great day.